The American Revolution began in 1775 when 13 British colonies in North America declared their independence from Great Britain. The colonies formed the Continental Army to fight against the British forces, and George Washington was chosen to lead. The British had superior military resources and were initially successful in the war. In 1777, the British aimed to capture Philadelphia, the capital of the colonies. The city of brotherly love, as it was known, was defended by Washington's troops. When the British Army launched an attack on Philadelphia in September of 1777, Washington was forced to retreat. In an often overlooked chapter of history, the British occupied Philadelphia in September, forcing the Continental Congress to flee. Washington's army regrouped and launched several attacks on the British, but was ultimately unsuccessful in driving them out of the city. In December of 1777, Washington's army was forced to retreat to Valley Forge, about 20 miles northwest of Philadelphia. The retreat was necessary because of the Army's depleted resources and their inability to continue fighting in such harsh winter conditions. That winter, Washington stationed his troops in Valley Forge, about 20 miles from Philadelphia. The Continental Army spent a grueling 6 months there, enduring one of the most challenging stretches of the war. The winter of 1777 to 78 was one of the harshest on record, with temperatures dropping below freezing with constant heavy snowfall. The soldiers faced many challenges, including shortages of food, clothing, and supplies. The Army's supply lines were disrupted, and the soldiers were forced to rely on meager rations of flour, salt, and sometimes even horse meat. New York's Governor Morris of the Continental Congress wrote this:
"An army of skeletons appeared before our eyes naked, starved, sick, and discouraged."
Soldiers lived in cramped quarters, often without proper shelter or clothing, with many soldiers suffering from frostbite, dysentery, and other illnesses. The Army lacked proper medical care, and many soldiers died from their injuries or illness. French aristocrat turned Continental Army soldier Marquis de Lafayette wrote this:
"The unfortunate soldiers were in want of everything. They had neither coats nor hats, nor shirts nor shoes. Their feet and their legs froze until they were black, and it was often necessary to amputate them."
Despite these challenges, George Washington and his officers worked tirelessly to keep the army together. General Washington's first concern was always his soldiers, and he was known to accuse the Congress of not doing much to help. He famously said of the Congress at the time that they have
little feeling for the naked and distressed soldiers. I feel superabundantly for them, and from my soul pity those miseries which it is neither in my power to relieve or prevent.
It was in this dark time that he chose to rely on his faith. Contrary to what many modern historians and academics will tell you, Washington's faith played an important role in his life. He believed that his success was due to divine providence, and often attributed his victories in battle to God's intervention. He also believed that his role as a leader was ordained by God, and he felt a deep sense of responsibility to serve his country and his fellow citizens. He also had a strong sense of compassion and empathy, and often went out of his way to help those in need. At Valley Forge, it was no different. According to many eyewitness accounts, on Christmas Day, 1777, Washington was seen kneeling in the snow, praying for his troops at Valley Forge. This prayer was an emotional plea to God for strength and courage and divine intervention to help his soldiers survive this brutal winter and win the war. And this is his Christmas prayer.
Almighty God, we make our earnest prayer that thou wilt keep the United States in thy holy protection. O Lord, hear our prayers, and let our cry come unto thee. If it be thy will to interpose in our behalf, to suppress a confidence in the enemy, and to establish peace in our borders.
Washington's Christmas prayer inspired his soldiers' faith. It served as a source of hope and comfort to his troops during their time of despair and uncertainty. Washington's belief in God's providence and his trust in divine guidance helped to reassure his soldiers that they were not alone in their struggles and that their cause was just and righteous. And as we all know today, Washington's prayer was heard and answered. Despite enduring 3 months of scarcity and hardship, the subsequent 3 months of relative abundance led to significant improvements in morale and fighting abilities of the Continental Army. As a result, France would enter the war on the side of the new nation, with valuable foreign volunteers and fresh replacements would gradually join the ranks at Valley Forge. While the suffering and sacrifices endured by American soldiers at Valley Forge are well known and iconic, Valley Forge was where a new, confident, and professional American army emerged. Washington's faith served as an example to lead them through the valley of the shadow of death and onward to victory. Instead of a crushing defeat for the Continental Army, Valley Forge served as a pivotal moment in American history, marking the emergence of a transformed and formidable army that would help secure the nation's independence.